Welcome back to Duolingo English Test Help channel. We are planning to share with you full tests regularly to help you get familiar with all the practice and full tests because our questions are exactly the same all the challenges that you will face in the real test. So today, we will be sharing with you our first full test. So there are a few things I need to inform you first before we get started, okay? First of all, that we have the same number of questions that you see in the real test, like this. We have 6 questions for read and complete, read and select, listen and select, listen and type, and last but not least, read aloud. Next, we have 3 questions for write about the photo, 1 question for speak about the photo, 1 question for read then write, 1 question for read then speak, and 2 questions for listen then speak. You may or may not know that I have taken a few tests recently, and every time I took the test that I have only 1 read and speak question, but I received 2 questions for listen then speak. So that is the thing you need to pay close attention to. That being said, the length will be approximately 1 hour. Besides, we also arranged the order of questions exactly the same as in the real test in order to offer you the best experience you can see to prepare yourself ready for the real test. Secondly, you will have the exact time as in a real test for you to do. For instance, that you got 20 seconds for you to prepare for the questions such as speak about a photo, listen then speak, and read then speak. And then you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to speak. Lastly, at the end of each question, we show you our answers, especially for those questions. Write about the photo, speak about the photo, read then write, read then speak, and listen then speak. We also share with you our sample answers like this one, in which we highlight some advanced words, phrases, collocations, or linking words to help you study easier and more effectively. You also can stop the video to check it in detail if you need more time, because for each sample answer, we only stop it for a few seconds in order to save time in the video. So make sure that you check it out and stop the video if needed. One more recommendation before we start, I strongly suggest that you should be as strict with yourself as possible. I mean that you should apply all the rules from DET into our full practice test in order to get yourself completely ready for the real ones. Because you are going to face lots of challenges that you will not want to break the rules. So no more waiting, let's get started.
Legacy. 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 Hurricane. 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 Ability. 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 Highly. 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 Actor. 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 War. 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 Elsewhere. 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 Decor. 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 Band. Band. Band.
My friend wrote another book. My friend wrote another book. My friend wrote another book. I think I see my parents again soon one day. I think I see my parents again soon one day. I think I see my parents again soon one day.
Mangroves provide a safe haven for a whole ecosystem of animals.
They will have tried to talk to you by the time the story has published. They will have tried to talk to you by the time the story has published. They will have tried to talk to you by the time the story has published. ball, 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 Benicio, 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 baseball, 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 firmler, 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 termin, 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 hands, 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 kehi, 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 harmful, 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 address, address, address.
All over the country, local school board members, who are typically volunteers or serve for small stipends,
You invest a portion of your energy into it. You invest a portion of your energy into it. You invest a portion of your energy into it.
A few words before we carry on to the next questions. How do you feel so far? What do you think about the difficulty of our practicing questions? Is it too difficult, normal, or quite easy for you? Please share your thoughts with us in the comment section because it means everything. So now get back to your test.
The idea of human zombies probably seems pretty far-fetched.
Reluctant, reluctant, reluctant. Wasterist, wasterist, wasterist. Ozine, ozine, ozine. Likely, likely, likely. House, house, house. Might, might, might. Tolerate, tolerate, tolerate. Lambert, Lambert, Lambert. Conscious, conscious, conscious.
He's supposed to check the guns.
Abusive. 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 Crib. 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 Deprive. 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 Sibling. 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 Proponation. 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 Monitose. 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 Empiration. 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 Services. 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 Relatives. Relatives. Relatives.
Does he have a girlfriend yet? Does he have a girlfriend yet? Does he have a girlfriend yet?
He's responsible for what happens on the set.
Thripees. 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 Emphasis. 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 Aptitude. 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 However. 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 Unqueeful. 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 Pivily. 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 Obvious. 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 Unevolo. 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 Empathize. Empathize. Empathize.
The index stayed in the green mostly throughout the day but selling pressure. The index stayed in the green mostly throughout the day but selling pressure. The index stayed in the green mostly throughout the day but selling pressure.
Meaty, meaty, meaty. Distribute, distribute, distribute. Diversify, diversify, diversify. Behalf, behalf, behalf. Home, home, home. Stipend, stipend, stipend. Millie, millie, millie. Conceal, conceal, conceal. Rot, rot, rot.
She literally wasn't prepared for the blowback that set in as soon as possible.
My apology to stop you one more time. There is just something I want to share with you. That is, if you want to raise any concerns or questions related to DET, or if you want to receive more practicing materials, or you want to study tips and techniques from our team, our experts, then let's join our community on Facebook. I'll leave the link in the description below, so check it out, alright? Now, let's get back to your test and finish it.
This is an image of a family of 3 people shopping inside a gigantic supermarket. The father is roughly in the middle of the picture. He's holding a kind of fruit in yellow and showing that one to his child. While, the woman in her red soft sweater standing to his left is his wife, who is laying both her hands down on her child's shoulders. Moving on to the little boy in his formal suit, who seemingly looks so delighted by catching the fruit which is given to him by his father. Besides, in the background and the left of the photograph that we can see diverse goods including fruits, vegetables, milk and much more. One more thing to add. Let's look at the shopping cart at the bottom, which is packed with lots of goods. Thus, I strongly reckon that they are about to take a leave for home and then have a wonderful meal together late in the day.
In terms of a piece of work that I did quickly myself, frankly speaking, that I'm not only an English teacher but also an event organizer. Therefore, I more often than not do organize events on a weekly basis, and in order to deliver the best work it possibly can be, I make a presentation design as well as create all the contents necessary for our events so quickly, only within a couple of hours, that I get everything done from scratch. I mean that from scratch, but I deliver in an extraordinarily professional way. There are 2 major explanations about why I did it so fast. First of all, because it is how I make ends meet in the current time, thus I need to devote my schedule to study new skills and courses to improve my productivity and profession. Furthermore, I have been doing this kind of works for years, so I got a really good handle on creating such excellent presentations. Sometimes, I had to be a night owl to work my tail off to get my job done by the next morning. Hence, everything simply gets easier time after time. As far as I can tell, it was quite tough at first because it was not acquainted with me at all about 1.5 years ago. However, I hit the books day in day out and burned the candle at both ends most of the time to improve my work. So to me, it is not difficult at all.
What are the important qualities of a good friend? What are the important qualities of a good friend? What are the important qualities of a good friend?
Luckily enough, I do not only have the privilege to know and meet thousands of people but also have connected, and had them as best friends. So to me, there are two really essential qualities of a good friend. The first and foremost is about honesty and integrity. So when a friend is completely honest with you and they have strong integrity, that means they are held in high esteem by all the friends, families and colleagues among them. Therefore, they always show respect to you, and whatever they do they have to ask. I mean that they show respect by asking your advice even though sometimes they do not follow. But it's okay because our core objective is to support them the best that we can possibly do. Secondly, I strongly suggest that you should look for a good relationship with any friends, that is to give support without asking or, waiting for giving back. In other words, it is completely about your willingness to do so. Because if you help others out of your free will, you'll certainly have them as your best friends, which is critical for your future development. To wrap up, honesty, integrity and a willingness to support others are the qualities that I always look for in a good friend.
Nowadays, students spend lots of time studying extra classes. Do you it as a positive or negative development? Nowadays, students spend lots of time studying extra classes. Do you it as a positive or negative development? Nowadays, students spend lots of time studying extra classes. Do you it as a positive or negative development?
In the current age, I have seen millions of students study extra classes, which I wholeheartedly believe has both negative and positive sides. On the one hand, it is a well-known fact that extra classes not only help students study deeper some subjects at school but also offer them lots of opportunities to widen their networks with other classes. Because later in their lives, relationships from schools are extremely beneficial to their career path in the near future. On the other hand, students predominantly utilize their family's wages to pay for their extra classes, and they literally devote a bunch of time to burn the candle at both ends, which will likely be counterproductive if they do not have proper plans to stay in good shape, have great physical health, as well as mental one. A great example of this is that a close friend of mine has a 13-year-old boy, who hits the books on a daily basis, including studying classes at public school and extra classes in private school as well. The little boy feels drained and down in the dumps for weeks, which affects his mental health severely. All in all, I wholly believe that there are both negative and positive aspects when it comes to studying extra classes in the current time.
Thank you so much for still being here with us. I guess that you just completed the test. Would you mind sharing any thoughts about our first full test? It's really helpful to actually build more practice tests for you to do in the future. Besides, feel free to raise any questions or concerns in the section below. We are happy to answer everything. Okay, I guess that is the end for our first practice. Hope you all the best, and if you need anything, do not forget to join our community on Facebook. We are there to help you anytime you need. And say goodbye, see you again in our next full test.